Chapter 26, Ganondorf. We are now coming upon the Ace of Spades. Now, here's what's going to happen here. Ganondorf will kill the first Link. So this is his weapon of destruction here, his fist. So he'll zap the first Link. So let's pretend Red Link is here. He zaps him. He's gone. So why would he do this? Who approaches and explores the Ace of Spades, in that scenario, Ganon gets a turn. So what happens is, if you don't have all the pieces of the Triforce, so remember, yellow is for Green Link, red is for Red Link, black is for Violet Link, and blue is for Blue Link. If you don't have all the pieces before you enter the Ace of Spades, Ganondorf will kill the first Link. And what happens here is that in that scenario, Ganon gets a turn. The other Links, after the other Links, it rolls a 6. So we have a 6 die here. And Link, oh, hold on, one goddamn moment. A Link can avoid death by Ganon one of two ways. First, a Link with a building ability must build an object to stop Ganon and to lose a turn. Second, a Link must have all the pieces of the Triforce. So what happens is that so on the board of cards, the cards being Hyrule, Ganondorf will move 1, 2, 3, 4 to get to another Link. So you must have something to build to stop Ganondorf. So in this example here, we have a bulldozer. And so your bulldozer can plow into Ganondorf. If that happens, he loses a turn. So you would use the pieces here from Jenga Maker to make the bulldozer to stop Ganondorf for about a turn. This is, if any Link comes upon Ganon and it doesn't have all the pieces, this is when it gets to be desperate time. One of the Links must have the 4 pieces. If, however, when Link encounters the Ace of Spades and Ganondorf, if he has all the pieces, in this example, then what he can do, they start to fight. So we go to battle number 1. And battle number 1 will be very, you'll be reminded very quickly of the die battle. The first thing that Ganondorf did, or Ganon did in the A Link to the Past. So the way this would work is Ganondorf will roll to Link, and that would be a 3. Link has to get a higher number. So he tosses it over, gets a 4. Ganondorf tosses again, and that's a 4. So Link must get higher. 3. So Link fails the battle and dies. So the way this works is that the more numbers there are, the easier it might be to win. So depending on the king cards, King of Hearts, King of Spades, King of Diamonds, King of Clubs, you'll have a specific die to use. So Ganondorf does the ha 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 ha, right? The sort of that game of tag, that game of catch that he plays with the lightning ball. So this is the lightning ball, okay? If you don't conquer the king cards, so it doesn't matter which Link has to conquer the king cards. This is the die, right? So if no king cards are conquered, it's 6 die. If one king card is, if the challenge is met, then you have an 8 die. 2 king cards, it'll be a 12 die. 3 is a 20 die, and all 4 is the 100 die. And you roll it back and forth, and whoever gets the lower number after the highest number loses. And then, so if Ganondorf lost this battle, it would be on to battle number 2. Battle number 2, Ganondorf transforms into Ganon. We got Ganon right here. There's Ganon, larger than life. Can I turn his head? There we go. That kind of works. So this one's more specific. He can easily crush him into game over with his arms, I guess, unless Link has defeated one of the kings. So this is specific. It has to matter if Green Link defeated a king, then there would be a challenge. And if there's more than 1 or 2 or 3, then you can choose which one you want to do. So if Link defeats more than one king, so let's say there's 2 or 3 or 4 challenges, then you get to pick the challenge. So let's go through the specifics here. If you complete the King of Hearts, Ganon will challenge you to make him a weapon using the Jenga Maker. So you have to go through the cards and find a specific thing that could be a weapon, and then you have to build it. And if you pass it, you win. The King of Diamonds, Ganondorf will roll a number, and depending on what the merchant table is. Now, the merchant table is essentially whatever the treasures were. Each item, like the penguin suit, or the grappler, or the mirror, right? So, whichever item that you have to use the trans-dimensional clock. If you use the item to defeat Ganon the second time, then you win the challenge. But you have to have that specific item. It has to be the specific item, whatever he rolls. If you roll another number, that's like the king number or the ace of diamonds, I think, then don't worry about it. But what you have to do is you have to make sure you get, so it's the ace of diamonds, two of diamonds. So it has to be specific items. So whatever item you use to defeat the dungeon bosses with, that specific item you need, like Medusa needs the mirror, that's what you have to use if it's rolled that specific number. King of Clubs. Ganon will roll a 20 die, blue 9 die, purple 8 die, and green 12 die. And so let's do that now. Let's see. Red is 9, blue is 9, green is 6. So you have to determine between the red and the blue. So red is 11. So you would use fire enemies. So here are the different types: grass, fire, and there's water somewhere. There's a water enemy there. I got this whole table cluttered. So you're going to use the shogi board, and it's just like playing chess. Depending on which link, attack and defend rules still apply. You know, violet link is weak, or green link is weak, or blue link is weak, or strong against different enemies. The fight still applies to a shogi board. Both opponents start on opposite sides, so it's like that. It's like fighting in the wild, but instead of hexagons, it's on the squares here. Okay, the King of Spades. So you spin a spinner. Let's see if it actually lands. No. Well, let's just pretend. So if it lands on owlbear or other dicelings, you need to have the necessary item to defeat the owlbear, or else it's game over. So it's battling one of the dicelings. That's what this one's about. And that's, if you beat the second challenge, you move on to the final challenge, the throne. This is the throne. So Ganondorf will sit here on the throne. We're going to place Link right. Can I place you? Can you stand? Is it possible? Am I asking too goddamn much? There is Link standing. I got crap everywhere. So there's Link standing there. There is Ganondorf there. So here's what happens. To await Link's sentencing. This is the sentencing. Link's magic number is 2. Whether it is 2 from a 4 die or 6 or 8. 10 die or tails. So 2 is the magic number here. Defeat all 4 kings to battle this final battle over a coin toss. So if it's heads, the giant snake under the throne will eat Link. So the way this is that, how will I? So the four die is if you defeat 3 kings. 6 die is if you defeat 2 kings. 8 die is from 1, and 10 is from none. Though it might be inconsistent with what's happening here. So if you defeat all 4 kings, then it's decided on a coin toss. So I should have my coin somewhere. I may have placed it somewhere. Here we go. So here is the coin. And it's basically tails, Link is set free, or heads, he is not. And shall we decide now? Oh, the times I need to stand. So let's see if I can do it. Heads. Doesn't look too good. So here's what happens. The mouth of the snake comes out. And of course, whatever. And swallows Link whole, or at least that's what's supposed to happen. You know, it's easier to try to shove the toy in there. But anyway, that's Link's fate. And of course, many of you have seen the opposite, where if it's tails, then you hit the head, and that knocks over Ganondorf off of his throne. So that's how that would go. So these are the 3 battles. Yeah, so if you do, I'm going to have to change those rules. I think if you have to defeat all 4 kings, I think. But depending on how many kings you've defeated, Let me think. I'm changing these rules as I am talking to you. You had to have defeated at least one of the kings to make it past 2. So you would deal with a 4 die. So on number 2 of 4 die, which is a triangular pyramid with just 4 faces, triangles, that would be number 2. It's possible to make, but that's a pyramid's like 5 faces, but this is a 4-face pyramid. 6 is 2 and 3. I'm trying to think. No, oh yeah, 4. 6 is 2 kings, and at least 1 is 8. So the most you'll have to deal with, I think, is 8. Right? So 8 is the one. If you at least defeat one of the kings, which you need to get past section 2 to get to the 3rd battle, then this is what you roll. And let me roll it for fun. 6, yeah, not a chance. You'd still get eaten. So that's this one. We have overseen all the enemies. The only enemies that are left are in the depths and in the sky, and I'll cover that in a little later. I'll try to go over this as quickly as I can because I do want to play a game. I want to clear this whole fucking table and show you exactly how this all works.